Hey guys, Tambra here. Welcome to Opportunity Management. Welcome to week 9. What I'm going to do is give you a quick introduction to how everything works here. And then going forward, what we'll be mostly working on is the lecture that goes with the specific assignment for the week. But for now, what I want to do is just introduce you to a whole week that we have up here. So what I have on my homepage, I have my week 9 overview. Okay, this will look a little bit familiar because we did a lot of this before we left class, before break. So we're working on our project charter, our chapter 4 quiz. Something new is the online discussion, and I'm going to go over in more detail what that all is. We also have here our updated syllabus. So let's take a moment and look at that so everyone knows what's coming up next. So when I click on updated syllabus, it'll give me an updated syllabus. Okay? And what I can do is scroll down and it's going to show us the new area that we're working in. So right here, we're finishing off our project charters. That's this week. And then we're going to be going ahead to do a 3-week sustainability case study. And we'll be doing that individually. That way you don't have the complications of the logistics of managing a team project virtually, which is a little bit complicated, but we will come back and learn that. In the meantime, I want us to all together go over this sustainability case study of Frog's Leap. It's a really great story with lots of data, and we're going to be using our current sustainability tools and learning a few others, working with that data. So we're all in the same place, and you'll have a workbook coming out next week that's going to help you step by step go through that. And again, I'll also have instruction. We'll have discussions. We'll be spending a good 3 weeks working on Frog's Leap. After that, the experience that we'll have with Frog's Leap will help us to better understand our projects that we're working on with teams. We'll get feedback from our customers with the charters that we've submitted and be able to quickly work into plans. And we'll have 2 weeks fine-tuning our plans, which, believe it or not, you guys are probably about 70% done with because you have pretty good ideas about the plans. They just need to get fine-tuned. So we're going to come back, work on that, and then have a virtual presentation for our final exam week. So that's what's coming up. Going back to where we are right now on our overview, if you look on the sidebar, we have a new area called modules. So when you click on modules, it's going to take you through everything that you need to do each week in class. So each week we will have an overview, which is what we've just been looking at. We'll have a live check-in on Microsoft Teams, and we have that scheduled for Tuesday. I'll be recording that. If you can't be on it live, you can listen to it afterwards and respond to that. We also have this lecture, which is what I'm doing right now, and this will be posted where it says lecture, how to create a finished project charter 1. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on today. Then it goes into your assignment for project charter 1. We have discussions, current events. We'll be talking about that later. Not in this particular lecture, but we'll be talking about it during your team meeting. And then we have our quiz 4, our week in review, and we also have week 10. And week 10, I posted the case study just in case some people wanted to get a head start. You don't have to be reading it, but it is available. And sorry about that. It looks like there's a Wi-Fi issue. The other thing that we have when we're looking at what's coming up. So looking at our current assignment, Project Charter 1, let's go poke into that because that's really what we're here to talk about today. Okay, and when I look at that, I've done 2 things. One was I updated our template. I'm going to go over that with you step by step, but I also gave templates to each team. So you guys can use these shared. Okay, when you click on this, it's going to take you to a shared PowerPoint document that anybody who clicks on that link has editing powers. Okay, so each team has their own shared document. You all can go in and work on this together because this does need to be completed together as a team. Now, as a team, you can think about how you're going to do that. Maybe you're going to assign one part to different team members. Maybe you're going to all schedule a day to get together and just talk about how you might work on a particular area of this. Maybe you've already done it over break. All right, the big update that we have here is the deliverables. Okay, again, where we're doing our project charter, we start our case study, and then we go back and finish off our final project plan. Okay. Um, all right, going back to our assignment. Okay, the first thing that we have is our project management text. And we went over this in class, but I want to go over it with you again in case you didn't get it. So I've given you an entire textbook about project management, which is an excellent book. I'm focusing right now on page 57 to 60, which is explaining what this project charter is. Okay, and what is our project initiation? How do we get started? So if I was to go into that text and get to section number 7, it's right here. Okay, it's page 68 in the pages of the document, but in the page numbers of the book, it's actually 57. Okay, so just don't get confused there. So number 7, project initiation, is what we're looking at. And what we're looking at here is it's the first phase within a project management life cycle. So here in our opportunity management class, we're looking at how can we, as senior people within an organization, as management, as project leaders, right? How do we go about responding to a request by our boss, a request by a department to go and create something new for them? Okay, and we're doing this through a live experience and learning as we're going. Okay, so one of the first things that you want to do when you're presented with an opportunity like this to go and work on a project at a workplace, or even create your own project for your own business, okay, you want to make sure that everybody is on board, okay, and that you have the opportunity is identified and solution is identified, the project is formed, the team is appointed, everyone understands what's going to be happening, when, where, why, and how. Okay, and sometimes we might not know yet, but what we're going to do is present where is it that we think we're going, what do we know so far, what is our ideas, how are we going to get there. This is the plan. Okay, the idea of the project initiation plan is to make sure that people are on board and fill in any gaps that might be missing, and also give people an opportunity to respond if there's a particular area they want to focus on more or less, or something they don't understand. That's where this can all happen. And what I'm presenting to you is a structure. By using the PowerPoint, you have a structure in which to put this together to present to our customers, which we are doing virtually. And this is really cool because today everybody is doing this. So all businesses and teams that used to, like you guys, be working face to face are now in the same virtual environment. So it makes it even more important to make sure people are on board and they're understanding projects and they're able to share resources. So you guys are getting some amazing hands-on experiences that are going to really help you going forward by having this online opportunity here in our own class. So the business case study includes these different areas, right? A description of the problem, a list of different solutions, an analysis of the different solutions. We're doing that as a SWOT. A description of the preferred solution. So you guys have already been working on this as we're going through the sustainability lens, looking at all the different lenses and possibilities, and looking at solidarity economy and Sumat Kamana, and combining these things in different ways. You're creating solutions, okay? Looking at what's the main project requirements, okay? All of your customers have had an idea of what it is they want, okay? But again, you guys are the experts and you're gonna have a bigger idea of what kind of solutions, plural, you can be giving them. All right, and then a summarized plan for implementation, a schedule, and an analysis. The financial analysis we're not doing because we're working with no budget, okay? So now your PowerPoint has been set up to mimic this, okay? And feel free to use this PowerPoint in the future when you're working with other projects. You can use this for your capstone project. You can use this for business development. It's a great way to get your ideas out on paper and presentable to others, okay? The way this works is the project sponsor, which is our client, would approve the business case, any kind of funding, and say, okay, go ahead and go. And this is going to be happening as you guys are studying this other case study together. Our clients will be looking at this and responding. Okay, and I'll be working with them. And then when you're done with the case study, we'll have a clear response from them. Another reason why we create these is because it identifies a need or opportunity and devises a project that addresses that need. Okay, and how well you do this can define the project's success or failure. Now, I keep saying this because our client said, I want to know my food miles. And our other client said, I want to know how our product can be positive energy generating. Okay, and that's great. But what this plan does is it gives us an opportunity to devise even more. Okay, to come up with more ideas that they haven't even thought about. Okay, the success of your project depends on the clarity and accuracy of your business case. Okay, and again, that's why it's important to take this moment to map all of this out. A lot of what you're mapping out is going to be repetitive of what we've already done, but the client doesn't know that. The client hasn't been there as we've been mulling over our textbook and our workbook and working together on these different things. So this is a place to put it all in one spot, make sure that everyone's on the same place and understanding what it is that we want to be doing. Okay, this is something, okay, that we've experienced ourselves. Often the pressure to get results encourages people to go right into identifying the solutions without understanding the need, okay? And that's why I keep pulling the rein on you guys, because I know you know the solutions. I know you have amazing, wonderful ideas, but we still need to fully understand the need. And that's what we've been taking more and more time to do as we're getting more client information and immersing ourselves deeper in our client's organization, okay? So having a strategy can create a lot of immediate activity, but you also have a lot of chances to make mistakes, go down the wrong path, end up down some rabbit hole, right? So that's why we're taking this time to once again put it all in writing, get it out there, show it to the client, and get that approval. Okay. Really important to think about going forward too, because I know we get excited when there's a project, we want to jump in, but taking the time to clearly identify it is going to save so much more time in the long run. And also, it's going to really build a lot of trust for you as a team leader and also as a worker in a workplace environment. So the big thing is being misunderstood, right? What might be really clear for you isn't clear for someone else. Okay. And this is another place that helps us to make sure that everyone's understanding what we're saying. Let's see. Okay, and again, the need for establishing clear project objectives cannot be overstated. I'm sure I've overstated them. Okay, so it's kind of like that story of the elephant, right? We have the blind person touching something, right? One person says it's a wall. Someone else says, oh no, it's a tube, it's a hose. And someone said, no, it's a rope. Someone says, no, it's a big column, a pillar holding up a building, right? And they're all correct because they're all touching an elephant, but they're all seeing different parts of it. And that's the same thing that can happen with our project. We could all be looking at it completely correctly, but we're interpreting it in different ways. Okay? And here we have this fun visual that we had gone over in class, kind of talking about how different teams, right, can understand the same situation, project management. Okay, how the customer explains it and what the customer really needs. And that's what I want to make sure we're really clear on, because our customers have explained something, okay, but it might not be what they really need. And that's where we are here to go and figure that out. Okay, excellent. Let's see, and here we just talk about ambiguity, because also by doing this project, it helps us solidify our roles as teammates so we know exactly what we're doing as a team member. Okay, and that's kind of it. We have a nice story about a car. We have a nice cartoon here about how messages can be misunderstood, right? Painting an office blue, does that mean everything? Okay. But it's that idea of misunderstanding on projects, right? And it can happen anywhere. And that's what we're learning in this class is the best practices in the industry. And this is a best practice. Cool. All right. So project charter. So there it is. Everything about the project charter. If we jump over to our project charter, I think you guys are familiar with it. We're using this format, another best practice, okay, where we have a picture is worth 1,000 words. So we want to be doing a PowerPoint with a picture, Okay, have something that summarizes the essence of what it is that you're showing. Okay, so these pictures on the PowerPoint will change. You will replace them with your own pictures. You might have one team person be in charge of pictures. Okay, and that might be the thing that they're doing. Look back on your collaborative intelligence. Make sure that you're working to the skills of your different team members. I have your collaborative intelligence charts here. What I'll do is take a picture of them and post it on Canvas so that you guys can go back and see where different people's abilities lie. Okay. And so get this together, right? What's your situational analysis? Okay. 5 bullet points. What's the problem or opportunity statement? Okay. What is it that you're trying to solve? Let's see, your project objective, okay, your assumptions, your constraints, right? What kind of limitations you have. In this case, we also have these online constraints, so that's kind of interesting too. We're having a much more limited interaction with the customers than each other. So you can definitely include that you're working in an online virtual environment. The solution description, okay, what is it that you guys think you're going to be doing, okay, to solve these objectives? I know, Quince, for example, you are working on food miles, very specific to the client. So that could be something that's in there. Alternative solutions, right? For example, Quince is looking at what kind of food miles is is Nan experiencing in her particular model car, right? What's another solution? Maybe we can look at general mileage, something general that's not necessarily Nan's car, or maybe we can be looking at electric cars, right? How does that change how we're going to be measuring food miles if we're using an electric vehicle as opposed to a internal combustion vehicle? So these are just different things you can be thinking of. You don't have to be solving them right now, but you're presenting ideas. Okay, here's our project analysis, which a lot of you guys can copy right from your workbook because we've been doing this a couple of different times. So kind of swatting out your solution. Okay, and then down here we have the main project requirements. So this is when you get to say, I need blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I know, for example, Quince has been saying, I need to know what kind of car Nan is driving and what's the miles per gallon on that car. Okay, so any kind of additional resources you think you need, any questions you have for the client, you get to type all this in here. Okay, if these slides don't work for you, if you need to do this in a different format, you can. But the reason why I have it set up like this is because it makes it easy to be able to share this with people, and it keeps us from putting in too much information. So maybe like our current resources could be spreadsheets, right? Maybe we have annual sales. Maybe we have our B Corps report, okay? Maybe we have an annual report. Maybe we have a website with product data, right? Maybe we have product recipe information. So I'm actually putting down resources that come from both teams just to give you guys examples, but you'll be using the resources just from your particular team. Okay, I did a little bit of formatting to make it easy to see, but by listing your resources here also, your customer will know what it is that you're working with. And then additional resources, you might say mileage for cars. You might say cost of containers. You might say new, what else might you want to know about? A client question, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of a client question. A client question would be, is there anything in our COVID-19 environment that is changing what you need for this project, right? So that might be something. I'm going to put this in black so that we can actually read it, okay? And I'm going to take it out of bold so it's just easy to see. Okay, and then do a little bit of spell check on it. COVID says environment, right? Okay. And then any other kind of questions that you might have for the client, even if it's not a COVID-19 question, you might want to know, what is more important ecotourism on the campus, or creating greenhouses for ingredients, right? If you want to know, is it going to be an either or kind of situation? And this should be a question that you would be asking Quince, right? Ecotourism. Let's go spell that right. Okay. And with Quince, what I'm thinking of is no, I mean, not Quince, this would be Badger. With Badger, what I'm thinking of with the ecotourism was your idea of having cabins with artists, you know, working on the campus. Okay. And also you had the idea of growing olives and different things in greenhouses, right? So you might want to ask, is there an either or situation here, right? Or any other kind of questions you might have for the client. Okay. Let's see. Next thing that we have is questions and feedback. So that would be the client would be responding at that point, and I would share that with you. You want to include your names and different project roles so the client knows who's doing what. Cool. So this needs to be handed in this week. Okay, by Monday, we really want to have this finished because then we're going to be working on our case study. And we're actually going to use this model again as we go through our case study. So this is going to become more and more familiar to us. So far, so good. So that's our project charter. Again, if you guys have any questions, you're not sure, you can always email me, call me. We can set up team time. We always have team time during our class time. I can do team time with teams also. However you guys want to work it, or if you want to have one point person from the team talk to me and then talk to everybody else, there's many different ways that we can make this work. Cool. If I go back to modules, let's see, I think I've covered everything that we need to do. And we'll be talking on Tuesday also. I'm going to post this now. It's Sunday. And then just make sure I got all of our tabs. I think we've hit everything. Oh, the quiz, the chapter 4 quiz. So this we went over in class, but I just want to go over again in case you have a question. Okay, so this is done individually, and you can just look at your own teach back and your client project and just think about where do you see your client using ideas from the sustainability lens in that section, right? So let's say I wrote about customer segments and I'm working on Quince, and I'm seeing how Quince can really do a lot with building more direct relationships with the customers by giving them recipes to be using at home, giving them new recipes with their products, maybe doing a direct sales thing because of this COVID-19 environment. There's more people cooking at home. So I can look at, oh, you know, customer segment. What am I looking at with the sustainability lens? How can I be building more communication with this customer? Okay, and then building in that area. Cool. All right, so that's done individually. You just write one paragraph, you hand that in. Okay, and that's what's needed for our chapter 4 quiz. Good. What I'm going to do now is go back to our home page, okay, which is our overview. Okay, we have the new syllabus we've looked at. We have some new tools, again, that I've talked about, and I'll talk about that more when we do our team check-in. And this is everything that we need so far. Good? All right. Well, I look forward to talking to you and seeing you. You'll actually see me later this week, and I hope you guys have a good week. And I'll look forward to hearing back as you need it. Take care.